Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Raheem here. Welcome. Let's slay some demons. Brothers and sisters, this is part of the series that I'm working on. I want to go through all the 22 chapters of Al-Injil. Hopefully one every other day, maybe one a day. Get through all 22 chapters. Not go into detail, but give you a general idea of what's going on with them for those of you that are studying. Because information is becoming more and more relevant every day. It's relevant in the sense that you see things happening around you. It's clearer and clearer and clearer. And the fools, the liars, the demons, the scriptees, whatever they're peddling, is beginning to look worse and worse and worse and worse, making no sense at all. They become more obvious. They're on the way out. This truth is becoming brighter and brighter and brighter. That's the power of it. Just like someone talking about the spring and the winter. See, every day it gets more and more spring, closer and closer to spring, warmer and warmer. As it gets closer and closer, so their power increases. See, everyone's trying to hold on to the winter, right? Their power decreases. See, that's the scriptees, demons, the time makers. They're trying to hold on to the winter. See, but spring is coming. See, and so that's the power, because that's why they write these books for the season, for a certain season. Those books represent a certain season. They come to, they're revealed for a certain season to cover, and they have and they cover the season in vivid detail. So as you get closer and closer to the season, it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. Just like in the winter, everything is dull and and dark. And as it gets spring, starts lightening up, right? Colors start coming out. Life starts happening. See, that's what's happening now. Because now we're already in the spring. See, and they're in the winter, they're holding on. See, holding on to their ice castles. See, and the ice castles are melting, and they're snowballs. That's their power, their force. Like eyeballs of ice, they're crushing people with. But now the ice is melting in their hands. There's nothing they can do. See, they was powerful. Mid winter, it's powerful. See, that's the way it is. You see America, like Quran said, you see it as firm mountain. You understand? But it says returning carded wool. You understand? You see them. Remember the Quran says you see them as firm mountain. You see them as firm mountain. You see America as a firm mountain. To be turned to carded wool, like then just blown away. It's blown away. It's about to be blown away. You hear the wind blowing over it. You already see it shaking. You tell hurricanes come. You see the winds blowing. It gets dark. And you see how it starts shaking. If it's shaking before the wind gets there, what it's going to do when the wind hits? When the four winds hit, what it's going to do then? And all those clouds is holding on to it. They're getting weak. Getting a hernia out there. Starting to get a hernia. Hold on. Silas, Farrakhan, Seventh Angel, and all you clowns out there. You starting to get a hernia. Right? Getting muscle cramps. So we get stronger every day. Every day we're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And pretty soon there'll be enough electricity to electrify this body. It's going to jump up and kick your ass. Because the whole world got an ass kicking coming. And we're going to provide it. Because no one's ever going to F with us again, ever. No one else We're going to make such an example, especially of this place here. We're going to make, it says this place is going to burn like an oven. It's going to burn for thousands of years. We're going to make, the Quran talks about also, it's going to be a sign. Remember, Nineveh was a sign. So you don't understand who Nineveh is. That's where we are. We're in Nineveh, the great city. But you don't understand the scripture. See, we're there now. It's going to be a sign to the nations. No one, no tribe is ever going to F with us again. Not even close. Not even close. Okay. Cool. When I get this body electrified, I mean, never seen anything like it. No one in the age of Yaqub has ever seen the original man in his glory. Ever. No one's ever seen it. Remember Napoleon says, he says, everybody's fought except the black man. He says, watch out when he fights. That's what he said. When my people step up, you better be stepping out the universe. Leave your bodies behind, because they belong to us too. They still got these clowns. Oh man, they bombard my payroll, this BS. Oh, Jesus saves. Jesus gonna help me. Please, Jesus, do this for me. Oh, all this crap and all this Sunni stuff. And you think that's gonna work? You can show all the shit you want to at me. All you do is step in the shower and it's all gone. See, but remember, you the shit. So when I step in the shower, now it's all for me, but you're going too, because it just washes you away. This is funny. It's funny to me. See, and if I'm talking like this right now, and my entire body is paralyzed, one side of life is electrograin or whatever, you know. What do you think is going to be like once this body gets alive, gets stepped up, get up off his deathbed? What things will be like then? If I'm talking to you like this now, and my entire body is paralyzed, what do you think it's going to be like once it gets revitalized? What do you think these brothers and sisters around here are going to be like? See, once they get electrified, energized. You don't even want to know. They don't even know. They don't even know themselves yet until they feel it, because they have no idea how much power they have. They have no idea. They the ones that put those stars out there. Can you put a star out there? Hell, you can't even put a moon out there. You can barely put a satellite out there. These ones put those stars out there. So I'm going to go and do it. I'm not going into a lot of detail. I'm going to go into this, right, and say a couple of things, but I don't want to take away from, because this is aside from what I normally do. Like I said, I want to go through chapter by chapter by chapter. See, I want to say one thing. It needs to be said, because I watched this thing over Sunday, this Farrakhan circus. Why you watch that? Well, you got to, you got to scope your enemies, so you know what the hell they're doing. I mean, really, they're not even effective anymore. I mean, they're nothing. But if you listen to him, see, you can see his lies. See, because he's legitimizing false Israel. He's saying, well, our situations lack in Exodus. But did you catch that? See, so if God did that for them, they do for, see, that was the scripture that applied to us. We hope that God might treat us that way, that we are truly Him, and we hope that God's going to see. Yeah, people don't pick up on that. So He legitimized them. If He legitimized them, then we're not them. So who are we then? He think he's so slick. He ain't slick. He's going to be slick. He's a tar baby. He's going to be slick pretty soon. He'll be slipping down the road. Man, that clown is so funny. And the thing is, The last thing he's ever going to see in this world, his own people shitting on him. His own people. That's the last memory he's ever going to have. That's the last memory he's ever going to have. See? Because when they see the destination that he's led them to, see, what you think they're going to do to him? See, that's if we let him go for them to do something to him. He think he's got problems now. He think that disembowelment. So there's a lot of things I intend to talk about in the next few days. This idea about immortality. I've talked about it in the past. See, the messenger, he got that one wrong. You think he's infallible. So they think Prophet Muhammad was infallible. They're prophets, they're messengers, they're not gods. Right? And they get a message, then they take it, try to understand, just like it says in the lessons, right? He didn't get 100% correct. And he was given things to study. So he was given total, supreme knowledge of everything. What does he need to study? So we're going to talk about that because, see, that somebody brought that up. I said, oh, no. Do you know what you're talking about here? See, when they talk about you die and that's it, they're talking to us. We are immortal people. They're talking to Adam, who he made, who's mortal. The Bible tells you he's mortal. He only has 6,000 years. He's mortal. We are immortal people. And nobody's cut up out of the grave. That's absolutely a fact. See? But you need to understand your creation, who you are. Because we live forever. They are mortal. We're immortal. What does that mean? That means, well, see, we'll talk about that another time. And we're going to talk about that soon. I think I talked about it in the past, but I think I really need to elaborate on it and go to the mathematics of it. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's go in. Now, I'm going to chapter 2 and 3 of the Angel. I'm putting those two chapters together because they're similar. I mean, they go together. Okay? Now, I was reluctant to do chapter 2 and 3 because really, brothers and sisters, it's almost like another angel within inside an angel. Right? It's not the book of life, but it's like an angel within inside. It's like a message within a message. And you really need to be a master of the angel, even understand any of that. So I'm just going to go, I'm not going to go into detail. I'm going to give you some of it so you can get a feel for what's going on. Because I know if you walk through it on your own, really, you're going to get tripped up because a lot of things contradictory and stuff because you don't understand, you don't understand the subtleties of what's going on there. But I need to show you, if I don't put it out there, then it leaves open to all kinds of interpretation and things. So something for your study. Be very careful in there. A lot of landmines. A lot of landmines. So I'm going to hit on some high points, point some things, show how it works. So you know that those other clowns, they have no idea what these books are about. I'm going to show you how it works because it's not obvious. Okay? So let's go into it and see what happens. Chapter 2 to 3. The Dear Lord, the Seven Churches. Again, I'm leave this in to get some idea of the symbolism. This is just a small aspect of it. Like I said, this gives you symbolism of some of the symbols used to define the original nation. 7 golden lampstands, right? 7 eyes, 7 spirits, 7 horns is a new resurrected original nation. So I'm not going to go into detail on that one. We'll talk about that sometime. Then over on right here, I'm trying to show you Sunnism, right? So Sunnism represents the golden calf. I'm not going to go into detail about that. So I'm just going to put it there. I said I was going to try to include it in most of my presentations. Okay, now when you go into chapters 2 and 3, this is the configuration. See, this is the configuration. So the time, so in other words, that chapter, what time frame does that chapter fall in? The things they talk about there are happening when this configuration takes place. See, well, there's an exception here. In this case, the three, you see the three nations here, where the nations they included within, okay, they're messed to those nations, but those nations are not under the thumb, no longer a thumb. In other words, you see the wings on each one and so forth. These nations that's inside the nation, right? They're no longer dominated by nations that they're sitting on. That's the only exception. So there's a reason for that, but because that's past. But in order to die, that's the structure they give you. Other than that, right? That is the. This is the period. This is the way this construction would have. So in other words, what it's saying is that this is after war takes place, and America has fallen, Babylon has fallen. It's out of its place. It should be over here on the left of false Israel, and and Britain is thrown into the sea. This is in chapter 18. The last one is thrown into the sea. The first one falls. So they don't show. I'll just leave it like that because if I go into try to explain in detail, I'm just going to cause more confusion. Anyway, the bottom line is Syria and Iran has moved up, and they moved back in, and they're taking control of the Middle East. False Israel's thrown out. America's cast out of the Middle East, and Britain's cast out of the Middle East. This is the construct. So that's what we call a day of the Lord. That's what day of the Lord looks like. So there's none like it. When war takes place, I said your life will change. I said that day is nothing like it. This is the day of the Lord. This is what it looks like. This is the construct. This construction hasn't taken place yet. It's about to take place. See? So that's another good reason why I go ahead and tell you about this, because this is about most everything in the Injil is about to take place. This is about to take place as soon as that war starts. Okay. So I point out. And so, the churches. Now you got 7. The churches are European countries. See? Britain represents Ephesus. Smyrna represents Syria. Pergamum, Iran. Nigeria represents false Israel. Sardis represents Eastern Europe, which is Russia. Laodicea represents Western Europe, which is EU. And Philadelphia represents America. That's the churches. Okay. That's the 7 churches. Okay. Chapter 2. Okay, we're talking Ephesus first. Here's Ephesus. You can read at your leisure, right? Now notice it says this thing up here. To the angel of Ephesus of Escalatia, right? Which is, some people translate it as church. So we just say church, right? The but. Now, you won't see the but in any translation other than the transliteral, because when King James read all of the but, because they think this is Jesus talking. So they said it's actually B-U-T-T. Even they had a problem with it. So they put B-U-T instead of B-U-T-T. Because it says, well, how can Jesus be called the but? So they just say the but you only see that much in other translation. You have to get transliteral. I think the best one out there. It does, of course, same things on Jehovah's website. And that's what they call the but. So I said, what the but? See, now once you understand the Injil, you understand what that means. So they said they had a problem with it, so they took one T off. But it's correct. It should be the but. It's saying, hold the 7 stars right hand, walk in the middle of 7 lampstands of golden. Okay. You can read this, but the thing he said, there's 3 parts. There's 3 parts to All the churches except two. One is the butt is talking. There's three people talking, the butt. And then the one says, I know the works of you. There's two. And then at the bottom right, it says the one conquering, right? Or it also says the spirit, right? That's three. Okay, the butt represents the devil. We'll just go to the chase here. That represents Obama. Okay, the butt, right? Okay, the works, that's Farad. Okay, and the spirit of the conquering, that represents Suleiman. And the reason why they use those three here, one of the reasons, because I told you the last battle in the end, see, the Europeans, they're gone already. That's not Armageddon. They're already gone. Okay. Then comes the battle, right, between Africa against China and India. That big battle. But we'll be home at that time. And the whole world will be in war, except Farad. The only place on the planet will be in the Middle East where we are, protected by Farad. We'll let that war play out. It says Africa will win that war. It said that war would be led by Obama, the non-Islamic African nation country. He'll lead a group, right, of non-Islamic African countries, right? They're going to be with China and India when they invade America. They're going to be together. It tells you in chapter 17, says he'll be alongside. Remember, there was three. There was the dragon, it had 7 heads and 10 horns. There was the beast, it had 7 heads and 10 horns. And there was another beast that had 7 heads and 10 horns. It was 3 altogether. See, the dragon had his crowns on his heads, right? But the beast, his crowns on his horns. And the third beast was a scarlet colored beast, right? He didn't have any horns at all. I mean, he had any crowns at all, but he was alongside the beast that had the horns on 7 heads, 10 horns rather. And they're together at that point. And then they turn on us at the end. That's the final battle. Okay? So, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with that. So I don't even talk with that very much because we got to get home first. Because it said, these 10 kings will make war with the Lamb. See that? The Lamb overcome them. Because he's the Lord of lords and King of kings. Okay? One other thing. 7. The 7 blasphemies. It says, his crowns on his 7 heads and seven names of blasphemies. Well, the blasphemies up here, that's the butt. Because the 7 things he says, they're all blasphemies, all lies. See? But that gets into, I don't want to go into detail about that, but I'm just going to say this. There's this, see, most people they only talk about this in churches. You hear them talk any place. Because first of all, they think Lucifer and Satan are the same place. They're not. It's Lucifer and Satan, it's 2 different people. Satan was not an archangel, but Lucifer is. He's on the level of Farad, of Michael. Both of them are archangels, but Michael is the more powerful archangel. Gabriel is an archangel also. But Lucifer thinks he should be the best. He thinks he should be the top one. See? That's what it's all about. See? Okay. So let's go on. So I'm going to show Ephesus. Now, here it is. We see, I show you the first one. Ephesus is Britain's thrown out of the Middle East and thrown to the sea. I showed Smyrna, that's Syria. Pergamon, that's Iran. Thyatira, as far as Israel. That construct right here. So this is the point of time where the war is taking place and they've been thrown out of the Middle East. And false Israel is being surrounded, under siege, and about to be taken out. Okay. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Now, I talked about this before. I said, not in this context though. I said, each one of these nations are dominated by the European nations. So I said Britain was dominated by the East Asia, India, Middle East, whatever. Britain had control, domination over that. Okay? So the first one, the first they talk about is Ephesus. Okay. So what happens is that when they're talking, right, they say they're not talking to Ephesus directly, they're talking to the country that's Ephesus is dominating. See? And the ears, it says, he has an ear, let him hear. Okay. That's Suleiman talking to that group. The works, that's Farad talking to that group. The but is that's Obama talking to that group. Okay? That's the way it works. Here you go. So to the angel of Ephesus, yes, of the Ecclesia, right? The but is saying, so he's talking to him. He said, the but is holding 7 stars right hand, him walking about the middle of 7 lampstands, the golden. Okay? See? So this is Obama talking. He's talking to this group down here. It's part of Asia. Now you go on the second part here. I've known you to works. That's Farad talking. Works, right? He's talking. And he said, I know the endurance of you. And he's saying things there. Now this is the part where I'm not going to go in a lot of detail here. Some of these things I'm going to mention a couple of things, right? Because here is you need to have a firm grip on the angel to understand what they're talking about here. And this is not right now for me to go and try to explain all this. It would take a lot of time. And like I said, you probably understand most of it, and you have that firmer grip. That's why one reason I never talked about this very much, and I've definitely never went in this much detail with it before, because you need a very, because it's like a book within inside a book. Okay. I'll go briefly, might say, and if it's the same thing that I think you might understand, I'll mention it. I know the works of your labor and endurance you that you ever carry bad and you put the tests. Okay, now here, test to say those apostles. Now see, that's works, right? But see, I got a calf there. But normally I have the house of Saul there. See, they're false apostles. The angel says they're not even Arab. It says they're India, that the British put on the throne. India, the British put on the throne to make sure that oil. So they're not even Muslim. They're Hindus. That's what the angel said. They're really Hindus. They're false. See, but they're not. They act like Muslims all they want. Keep control all that money because they start acting like Hindus. They out there overnight. But they'll keep doing that because they're Hindus. Hindus will do that. All that money coming in. So, but it says they're not even here. So it's telling you they're false. They're not. See, you found them false. See. Okay, so I'll just leave that there. Now at the bottom here, you talk. Suleiman's talking. He's talking to the ears of it. He's talking to the Sunnis. Have you let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the Ecclesias? To the conqueror, I should give him to eat of the wood of life, which is in the paradise of God. In other words, those get through the tribulation, because they're going through tribulation also, right? He's going to include them, but they're on the bottom. Okay, there's much to it more to that, but I'm gonna leave it like that. So that's the pattern. You find this pattern continue. So when you read it, don't get now. I warn you, if you don't have a firm understanding of the engine, you go in here, you get yourself tripped up. It's on you, because I warned you. You need a firm understand, because you get real tripped up, and some things seem contradictory, seem like go against it, because you don't understand it. But I'm just showing you how it works. It's worth studying. Now Smyrna, right? And to the angel of Smyrna, the buzz saying, okay, go into it. Now Smyrna right here. Now this one's different. Why is this one different? Because it doesn't talk about the works here. Nothing said about the works here. See, it only talks about, right? It only talks about the but, and then it's got the Spirit here that is included within chapter 9. Nothing about any works, right? Why? Because this is different. Because this here has two positions they have. They're either on the top or they're on the bottom. And the butt is the top, the butt is the bottom, right? And the spirit is on the top. Because they don't have any nation inside of them. They never dominate any other nation. See? They never dominate other nation. So that's why you don't see any works in here. Because there's no works, there's no one in the nation to talk to. There's no one in the nation that they talk to. So what they're talking to is these two in the position they're in. Right? So in this case, somebody Smyrna, and it says, okay, and he's talking when he's in the bottom. See? That way, I'm saying the first and the last. See, he was dead and he lived. 1, 2 positions. I told you, brothers, it's not easy. Then the bottom down here. Okay. Now listen to this carefully. I've known you in tribulation and poverty, but rich you are. The blasphemy of those saying Jews to be themselves and not they are, but synagogue of Satan. See, remember the witnesses, that was the thing. They went against false Israel for 42 years, from 1948 to 1990. Not be fearing what you're about to be suffering. Look, is about to throw the devil you into prison. Now, where was the prison? The prison, if you read chapter 18, was where the demons and everything was. That was at the bottom. They're at the bottom. In other words, you might be tested. And you may have tribulation days 10. Now, what is this talking about? I'm just going to say a couple things here. I'm not going to give you any specific details. But, because I've been talking about the war's going to last 10 days. Because see at the bottom. Because listen to the next line. Be faithful unto death. Where is the death? Death's at the top. Make it at the top. That's right, faithful unto death. That's when they come next to death. When they're on the top. And the prison on the bottom and death's on the top. I should give you the crowns of life. It means then they move up to the top and part of New Jerusalem. So is that telling you that the Lord, the tribulation is the war for them? Going to last 10 days? And then let the ear, the spirit say to escalation, conquer not to be treated unjustly out of the death to second, out of unrighteously. So just something to think about. That's Samaritan. Now here's, did I miss something here? What happened? Smyrna? What happened? Okay, that's, yeah, Ephesus. Did I leave something out here? Smyrna. Yes, Smyrna. Where's Pergamum? Oh, that's what happened. Okay. Okay, brothers. I'll give a pictorial of the situation. See? Because they're in a prison at the bottom, right? So faithful to death. Remember, death is the Oriental nation on top of that. Be faithful unto death. Okay? It means they won the war. They was in a prison, and they come back. They was dead, now they're alive. I told you, it's very dead, brothers and sisters. If you don't have a firm understanding of the angel, you will not. You get lost in the 7 churches. So all messed all by itself. Okay. This is Pergamon here. Okay, let's see. Let's go into it. Okay, here's Pergamon. That's Iran. And the angel, right, saying had a long, to my, you okay, I'm not going to explain to you. I've known you were dwelling where the throne of Satan. See, where's he dwelling? Where's the throne of Satan? See, here's Satan, right? Now, the throne of Satan will be right under that area. I'm not showing that right here. But that's where he's dwelling. That's where they're dwelling, at that point. Remember, that's where they are right now. They haven't risen yet. See? Knowing you are dwelling with the throne of Satan and hold the name of me. See, they hold him. See, fraud is their 12th man. And not deny the faith of me in the days of Antipas and witness of me. They tell me they're the witnesses. The faith of me, who was killed beside you where Satan is dwelling. That gets a little more complicated. I'm not going to say that right here. But I'm having down you are holding the teaching of Balaam, who teach Balak, right? Balak was false Israel. See, this thing about teaching the Balaam, you got to be very careful with that one, because Balaam actually is fraud. I probably shouldn't have said that anyway, but because you get tripped up on this one, because he's not saying something bad about Balaam here. See, um, inside the sons of Israel eat things like outcome of fornication. In other words, that's what says false Israel is treating us. See, teaching throw a fall call, another way tripping us up. The sight of the sons of Israel. We're the sons of Israel. These things sacrifice idols, commit fornication, do all kinds of stuff that we ain't got no business doing. It says false Israel is the one that's doing that. Thus you are having also holding the teaching of Nicolaitans likewise. Okay. So I leave it there. And let's see. Spirit having inclination as conquered. Okay, I'm not going to all of that. The pebble, right? That's a whole subject all by itself. Okay, so here it is. Here it is. Okay, remember, it says nothing about works because it's two positions on the top or the bottom. See, that's why no works is mentioned here. So it's referring to is top. One person talking to it here, right? Is the button on the bottom, and Suleiman when they're on the top. Okay. Bacteria, right? Okay, that's false Israel. Bacteria. Remember, these are the 7 churches here, right? Now, bacteria. Now, this is a little more, you got to pay real close attention here, because these bacteria, right, represents the whole, that one represents all the whole European countries. So when they're talking about, uh, the 3 things it's saying here, let's go back. Well, I didn't break it out here, so I just go into it here. When they talk about the ear, the works, and the butt, first they're talking about the whole thing here. Okay, so here's talking about the butt. So he's talking about the one at the bottom here. The angel, the butt is saying the son of the God, having eyes of him as flame of fire, and feet him like the fine copper. Remember, he's the one in chapter 1, right? I said they think he's Jesus, but they say he's like the Son of Man. Because that's Lucifer. He said he's going to send a storm. He said he's going to be like the Most High. Read about Lucifer. He says he's going to be like the Most High. He's just thrown up in the north. He's going to be like the Most High. See? Because he thinks he should be the top dog, so to speak. Okay. So this was talking to the Bible, right? Now you got Fraud talking. Okay, he's talking to the works. He's talking to America, false Israel, and Britain. See? I've known of you the works, the love, the faith, and service of the endurance to you, and the works of you to last more than first. See, you stumble around this one because you make it think that he's for them. I'm having against you, I'm having against you. See the works he's talking about American Britain. Having against you, you letting go of the woman Jezebel. Who's Jezebel? That's false Israel. The saying herself, she's a prophetess. You see, he's telling you, Jezebel is false Israel. And saying herself to be a prophetess. She's saying she's a prophet. Remember they call you false prophets? He's called a false prophet. And she is teaching, she is making the earth. My slaves commit fornication and eat sacrifice to Al. Remember I told you that was Balak? Again, that's it. That shows you right there. It says right, it says that commit fornication, eat things, sacrifice to Al. It's telling you, they're the ones that's doing it, false Israel. They're the ones tripping us up and everything else. Told our identity and the whole works. And they're false Israel. So I call them false Israel because they said they're false. See? He said they call herself prophetess and she's lying. See? Look, I'm throwing her into bed. See? Into bed. Where? She's going to be thrown down, right? With Babylon. And committing adultery with her in the fornication great. That means America, her going to be thrown down together. In tribulation great. If ever they will not repent of the works of them. And the children of Christ are killed in death. Remember, the children of Christ are killed in death. Let's back up to show that one. Let's back up to show that one. Should show it right there. I'm going to go back too far. Okay, here, see? Britain, right? Okay. She's the children thrown to death. So we're talking about one thrown to death. That's what it's talking about. See, so it's talking about America's going to be thrown down tribulation and false, and Britain will be thrown into death and thrown into the sea. Death is also the sea. And and I'm saying to leftover bacteria, as many as not having teaching this, who they not know the depth deep of Satan's, they're saying, I'm throwing upon you. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there. Anyway, because it's difficult to read because it's transliteral. Like I said, it's going to take one word from one language and just translate the word. And so when you put it in another language, it's going to be squirping. And it's difficult to read. I'm not going to get tongue-tied here because that's the point I'm trying to make here. Trying to get you to understand how this works. Then now you're talking to this is Suleiman talking. He's talking, where he says, let them have an ear, right? Let them hear. They have an ear, let them hear. So he's talking to the ones that would be on top, right? See? In this case, I have them on the bottom here. And the conquering, the observing, until they end the works of me, I should give them authority upon the nations. This is carefully. Give them authority upon the nations. He should shepherd them in a staff made of iron. I think I've told you before, the shield represents the rod of iron. They're Farad's angels. So here they sit it right here. I've shepherded them in a staff made of iron, because they also in Daniel, they call iron, the European nations are iron. They're the top nation of the European nation, the Islamic part of it, right? They're paternal, they're original, but they like Farad, right? They're original on the paternal side, but Caucasian on their maternal side. You shepherd them in vessels, because that's what they use. They be rod of iron to rule the nations. So that's what that's what he's going to use to control all the nations. So this Suleiman's talking there, here. See? Talking to the Shia. Remember chapter 3, fall of Babylon. Okay, here it is. Now this is at the point where Babylon has fallen. Then angel understands what this means. This is a point. This is a structure. It shows, if you read chapter 3, you see there's talk about these three. In chapter 2, they talk about 4. Right? The first Ephesus, then Smyrna and Pergamon, then Thyatira. This one they talk about the last 3 on the bottom. This is the configuration. When the configuration was Babylon's fall, Sardis. Okay, Sardis represents Russia or Eastern Europe. Okay, so here we go. Now we got the but Obama's talking, right? He's talking to the one at the bottom. Don't get confused because this is not the same order as there. Remember, it's a sealed book. And the angel saw this of Escalatia, right? The bud is saying that having the 7 spirits of the God and the 7 stars. See? So that's him talking. Now he got Farad talking. He's talking to the ones, right? The works. I've known you the works, having living. And this is very important here because if you notice in New Jerusalem, none of the Oriental nations are found. If you paid attention, nobody's ever asked me about that. But the Oriental nations, none of them are found, not one of them are found in New Jerusalem. And if you read this carefully, you might see why. So we will read it. I've known, assuming I'm going to get all tongue-tied. You have the name of you, that you have that name you have, that you are living and dead you are. See, they're death. Oriental nations are death. See, becoming, staying awake and fixed firmly, left of what you're about to die, not for For now I found your works have been fulfilled in the sight of God. See, their works is not sufficient. Be you keep in mind, therefore, how you received and you heard, be keeping and repent. Wherever you should not stay awake, I should come as thief, and not you should know what sort of allies come upon you, but you are having few names and signs which not polluted armor garments in them. They walk about me with white because worthy they are. Okay, now, this is very important. I mentioned recently, I didn't say, I've been very excited about it. I said that the reason why you see Farad right there above, when you see Farad on the enter key, right above that Buddhist sign right there, because that's the Orient. That's Japan there. And it says that's what Farad produced the wheel over in the Japanese region. He said they produced the wheel. After they put the wheel, after they finished constructing it, they killed off all the scientists. They had scientists from all over the world. They killed them all off except the Japanese scientists. And they kept them. And they're the ones piloting the wheel. That's what it's talking about right here. You have few names which are not polluted garments, and they will walk about me as white because worthy they are. Those are the ones with Farad. This there, bro, says, like I said, but very, and if you don't know anything about the lessons or what Elijah taught, you wouldn't even pick up that up. Because how would you know that he was doing that? I mean, the angel would tell you that, but how could you verify it? But that's in the lessons. It said that's what, and the angel verifies that. The angel verifies everything the messenger taught in the lessons. Doesn't verify everything he says because he made a lot of mistakes. He made assumptions. He thought the war of Armageddon would take place in the 70s. He said it. That's what they was teaching. But it didn't happen. Okay, now that's Farad talking. Now you got Sulaiman talking. The conquering thus will throw about himself and other garments white, and now shall I write the name out of him of the book of life. See, their names is written out of the book of life. That's why they're not showing up. The only ones, like I said, you got that few. There's only a few. There's only a few. That's the ones with Farad. The rest of them are gone. See? And the rest of them are gone. And the rest of, their names have been taken out of the book of life. They're not going to be in the New Jerusalem. That's what it's talking about. And it's very subtle. So if you don't understand, you won't pick it up. Very subtle. They don't just come out and tell you. You have some ideas? Excuse me. My voice again. Philadelphia represents America. Now here's the butt talking he's talking to, right? He's talking to a nation that's inside of America. Like us. So here's Obama's talking to the Nation of Islam and the Christians, right? The demons and the he saw the demons and the saints like chaff and the wheat, right? The Bible is saying, holy, truthful, having the key of David opened up, no one shut up, and shutting up, no one's opening. He said he only gives descriptions. He never really says anything. So he goes, he's a big liar. Okay, now you got Farad talking. And this is you got to be very careful with this one. Because it sounds like he's on their side. Those are demons. I've known you to works. Look, I've given sight of your door having been opened up. See, the other one said the doors are closed. But he said the door is open. No one's able to shut it up. See? So the opening up, and so both of them are saying the same thing. The other one said open it up and no one shut up, no one's opening. But Farad is saying it's a difference, and no one's able to shut it up. I'm open it, and no one's able to shut up. So that means one of them are lying. See what I'm saying? And you observe the word of me, not the name of me. Look, I'm going to synagogue, saying the same selves with Jews. Now see, that's why this is very, very careful here. So I'm going to read this slowly. Lo, you have it power, and you observe of me the word, and not deny the name of me. Who is he talking to? He's talking to both of those? You got to read further to find out what he's talking about. Right? Look, I'm giving out the synagogue of Satan, the same selves with Jews, and not they are. I said, they're lying. They're not Jews. Those people say Jews are not. Look, I'll make them in order. They will come in, and they will come to obeisance sight of the feet of you. You see, he's talking to the Nation of Islam because that's the foot. They're going to be basic to them. That's why you get lost in this, brothers, because if you read it, if you don't read it, understand it. It sounds like he's saying the demon's okay. But once you know the demon's okay, you know you can talk about them, and then you go further. He said, we're in front of the feet of you. He said, I worship you. I would incite other feet of you. See, the Nation of Islam is an eye, right? So it's a sight. It's in his sight. They should know I love you. See? Because you observe the word of me and endurance, you have observed our temptation by becoming upon the habit whole, the tempted habit upon earth. I'm going to quickly go fast with you in heaven, or that no one might take your crown of you. See? So, I shall do it, word of endurance me. So, in other words, they're not denying, well, under Farrakhan they are, but they're not denying his name. See? You have not denied my name. Even under Farrakhan, they still recognize fraud. Right? So Farrakhan is above them. See, work, the white work, that's above them. He's controlling them. I'm not going to go too much, I'm not going to leave that alone, bro. It's just, like I said, as you can see, if you pay attention, you see, it takes a lot of study. And I'm just giving you highlights. This book is very difficult, chapter 2 and 3. I'm just giving you highlights. Because you get lost in there and you get tripped up and you turn all the way backwards, even with understanding the angel, unless you have a thorough understanding of it. Now here is Suleiman talking. He's talking to the top, the elect, 144,000. Conquer I should make him a pillar and dying habitation of the God of me outside. They should not go out. I write upon him the name of the God of me, the name of the city of the God of me. Right? They call him New Jerusalem. And stepping down to heaven from God of me, name him new. Having, see, so that's different. They got the highest honor of all. He's talking to them. So that's why I said, let him have an ear. See, and the other way, no way, look at this, ear is the top, right? Works his hands, right? And your butt is below, right? That's another way to look at it. And the spirit in the middle, that's God, this God to run kind of the whole thing. Okay, SARS is the last one. And now you have Obama talking to the ones on the bottom down here. Well, I should have changed that. I got wing, but it should be, but I forgot to change that. Okay, so there's nothing different. It's just, I just forgot to change it. And it says, witness, true, beginning of the creation of God. So he's lying again. That's what it said, 7 names of blasphemy. I've known, here's why talking. I've known you the works, right? And you're neither cold nor hot. Oh, which you were cold or hot. That's because lukewarm, neither cold or hot. I'm about to vomit out of the mouth of me, because you are saying rich, and I'm not become rich. Nothing I've having known that you are miserable, pitiful, poor, and blind, naked, counsel you to buy me gold, have been fired out fire, in order that you might become rich, or the garments white. Maybe, okay. And be very careful here, because this is Farah talking. Now, the one on the right, the right is lion. See, that's Elijah. See, he's getting the good vibes. The one on the left, right? That's one of the. Remember I said that the 4 wings there also represents. Actually, the wings on this one, the Africa also represents the prophets. So you got 3 good prophets and 4 bad prophets. God's one of the good prophets. See? So he's talking to, so you got here, which one is he talking to here? The good vibes are going towards Elijah, the bad vibes are going towards the bad prophet there. Okay, now you got this one here. Then this is talking to the top Islamic part, right? This is the Suleiman talking. I should give him sit down me on the throne of me, and I sit down with the Father me on the throne of him. We'll leave that there. So the bottom line is just trying to get a feel for how this works. And again, this is the structure. See, you got 4 nations. You got 4 wings that control all the nations. Yeah, ever since Britain, they controlled the Middle East and Asia, right? Um, European countries, they colonized Africa, right? Um, Russia, right? They had ideological control over the Orient with communism, because they got communism from Russia. See, each one had a level of control. See, ideological, because that's China, and Vietnam, and Korea. They're all communists because they got that from Russia. So they had ideological control. Each one had different levels of control. And then on us, they had total control. That's America. They had total control of us. They had different control of all these nations. And all these nations broke free of their controls in the 60s, 50s, and 60s, right? Except us. That's what said those who keep their garments. See? See, we kept our white garments, right? That's what it means right here. So we still in control. That's what it means. We kept our garments. So we held sinless. Not that shit Farrakhan talking about. We are sinful, all that kind of stuff. He said, bless those who kept their garments, because whatever happened to us is still on master, slave master, because we're still under his domination. So whatever he puts on domination is on him. That's to bless those who keep their garments. That's what it's talking about. The rest of them don't have their garments anymore. See? Because they broke free. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. Okay, bro, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Okay, that's good. Okay, bro, since I'm gonna wrap this up, I just wanted, because I'm gonna move on. 2 and 3 is much particularly difficult. And there's a lot of stuff I didn't even talk about in there, a lot. See, but the primary things I don't want to just totally skip over them. So instead of really going into detail, I just give you the mechanism, how it works. So if you want to study, I gave you, come with a disclaimer. Don't go in there, right, tripping. Because you know you ain't coming out, you're going to come out with one leg, one arm, one eye that's going to blow you away if you go in there tripping. That's what I'm saying. Because I try to stay away from that when I talk to you, because in fact, to go into this takes a lot of information, a lot of time to break each one down. Because you see how it's complicated each one is. It's talking about things, and you got to be able to be very careful. You got to walk with the trim very carefully in there. You see what the message is. And a lot depends on, because you read another chapter, and you know, like the thing about the demons. See, it says, you know, what's the one that says, I'm going to make them come work at your feet. See, if you didn't know there was demons, then you have to, once you know they're demons, you can always exclude that right away. But since you know they're demons, then you know, hey, okay, you can't be talking about these. You got to be talking about that one. See? So it means you got to have firm understanding of the angel to go back, and otherwise it looks contradictory. Like they saying stuff, like the other one, they said, like they saying positive something to the demon, and positive things to America and Britain. You know, it could be saying positive things about them. So it means there's something else they're saying. You got to go and dig it out. So, brothers and sisters, I'm just telling you, don't go in the hair stepping. The primary reason I gave it to you, so let's move on to chapter 4, because I didn't want to just jump over chapter, just look like you don't know it or you're afraid of it or something wrong with it. So I'm just giving you the mechanics of it, how it works, basically. That's why I'm doing to give you some details to get a feel for how complicated and information is in there, that you got to be very careful. So if you want to study it, fine. You're better off studying the rest of the angel and come back at that one. Because like I said, it's like a whole book what's inside a book. Because it's, in fact, those books are sealed by the angel key itself. You see, so I mean, the whole Bible is sealed by the angel key, but I don't think I meant to say it that way. And then you got something else going in there. See, you know, every time I say look, 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 you don't see that in the other translation. Say behold or something. But every time they say look, there's a mess behind it. And you probably guess another book that I haven't even told you about. There's so much that I ain't told you about yet, brothers and sisters. I don't know if I even should show you this. Maybe I shouldn't show you this. No, I'm not. I was going to show you in here because I broke some of that down in here. But every time they say look and somehow it's a message. Every time you take a look, you throw this message together, it's a whole other message altogether. There's even more information. Like I told you, this book is so powerful, Bill says, I haven't even touched the surface of it. You get into it even more. Remember they said, do not, he was about to write the book, right? He said, do not write, what's in there, chapter 10, don't write, right? He said, should I? That's another book all the way out there. I haven't even touched the surface, brothers and sisters. There's so much information. That book is powerful for these times to tell you everything that's going on here. That's why I was reluctant to even say Obama, because you can't, there's no way in the world you would see him. If I never told you another way in the world you would see it, and probably some of you probably don't believe it now. That's what he went for, conquering and to conquer. If you recognize that's him, then he went for the conquer and the conqueror. What's the second conquest? He went one conquest from no president of the United States. He's to get an African ruler, a European country. It's got to be him. But he's got another conquest to make. What the hell is that all about? I'm trying to give you a few, but the beautiful thing about this is, when this body wakes up, it seems like so complicated right now, they're going to eat this up like it was nothing. Because you got that mind. See, once you get that mind back in your mind, once you get installed, it's going to operate like, whoa, so smooth, it's going to be like moving groove. You understand? It's going to be like an orchestra. It's going to run around your mind like it's going to be so beautiful. You'll be seeing things you never thought you saw before. I wish you could see it like I see it. See? But right now, you're dead. So it's not making sense. It's like somebody, you see an orchestra, you're listening, but you don't know how to play on the instruments. Maybe you can't even hear it. You can't hear the music playing. And they're playing some beautiful music, you can't hear it. But all of a sudden, your hearing comes on. Bam! And that's what's going to happen, brothers and sisters. So this book is written for your mind. So how in the hell is a book written for your mind? Your mind can handle it. When the time comes, why would they make it so complicated if it's going to be after the war is over and after we get back there? It's not going to be, the book's going to be of no value. Has no value in the hereafter. It only gets us there. So if we got all this complicated stuff and we ain't going to never use it, what's the point of writing all that stuff? Because you're going to upload this stuff, and once you wake up and so stuff, and it's going to be like, it's like 2 + 2 with you. You understand it perfectly. Maybe better than me. I want you, I don't have a problem with that. I hope you do understand it better than me. Everybody want that, man, you my people. You my family. Who don't want their son and daughter to be better than them? What fool is that? I'd be so happy. But once, brothers and sisters, like I always said, once you get it, and your mind opens up, and it starts getting, and you start seeing stuff, and it starts, whew. Because it gives you some idea what kind of mind you're going to have. Because you can have a mind more powerful, at least as powerful as the first God that started all this thing. Now we're going to reconstruct it. Okay, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. Assalamu alaikum.